I'm going to palpate the infraspinatus muscle, which is one of the rotator cuff muscles. The infraspinatus is a very superficial muscle. It sits directly on top of the scapula on the posterior side of the body. It originates in the infraspinous fossa of the scapula, and it's going to travel laterally around the shoulder and end on the greater tubercle of the humerus. So to find the infraspinatus, the first thing I'm going to do is going to ask my partner to put her hand just on the small of her back like so, and you'll see what happens here is that the medial border of her scapula pops up, and I can actually fit my hand just around the scapula like this, making it really easy to find the medial border, the inferior angle, and the lateral border up here. And that is where the infraspinous fossa is going to sit. Now, the top of the infraspinous fossa is the spine of the scapula, which is easily palpated by just putting a flat hand onto the scapula like this and sort of rolling back and forth, and there's this ridge here. That's the spine of the scapula. So we've got this infraspinous fossa that's sitting right here. So the meat of that infraspinatus is going to be sitting in there. So now I'm going to place my hand in the main body of that muscle, and I'm going to have my partner drape her arm off the edge of the table. The infraspinatus does a few things. All of the rotator cuff muscles stabilize the head of the humerus in the glenohumeral fossa, and then the infraspinatus, its main role is going to be lateral rotation like this. It also has a role in adduction as well as extension of the shoulder. But for purposes of palpation, I find it's really easy to feel this one when you're laterally rotating. So I'm going to tell my partner, I'm going to show her, this is the way I want you to rotate. And I'm actually just going to put my leg in front of her arm there so I can feel the muscle with both hands. And that's perfect. So she's laterally rotating, and I can feel all the way to the edges of that muscle. Just relax for a moment. Good. And then I'm going to come here, go ahead again. Perfect. And it pops right up, and I can actually palpate it all the way around to that greater tubercle. Relax for me. The greater tubercle is palpated by just come around to the anterior side of the shoulder, and you'll feel the bony prominence that is sort of the head of the humerus, and the most lateral part on the anterior side is going to be that greater tubercle. It's a bit sensitive to touch, so be careful. So that is the infraspinatus muscle.